Welcome to Fish Delta TV, your video source for fishdelta.com.
This video is being brought to you by Hummingbird.
One of the best situations for throwing spinnerbaits is in sparse tulles out here this time of the year. Water temperatures 49, 50, 51 right in there. Probably get up to 52, 53 this afternoon maybe. But you want sparse tulles. The fish are going to spawn back in there. These fish are in a staging mode. So we've got a pointed tulles right there. A lot of the fish will move up. They will stage right there, and then they will filter throughout the whole berm. So you got to find out where the best concentration is. And when you're throwing spinnerbaits, it's a great search bait. Allows you to cover a tremendous amount of water, just bounce tulles tips, sparse tulles, whatever it may be. But what you want to do is you want to get real aggressive with that spinnerbait when you're throwing it. You don't want to stay right out here on the outside edge. Okay, there's a lot of water up inside there where you want to be. Don't be afraid of getting hung up. A spinnerbait is one of the most weedless lures that we have out here. Okay, so now watch this. I think there might be a bass back there in that pocket. A lot of tulles in the way. That's okay. Pick a lane, kind of pick a lane where there aren't as many tulles to where you can hit and bump into as many tulles as possible on one cast. And speed is really important. So once we get it in there, as you can see, we're just going to slow wind that thing through there. And that, you want that spinnerbait to come through those tulles. As it comes through those tulles, you want those tulles to bounce. You want it like a pinball in a pinball machine. That's what that spinnerbait is, coming through these tulles. Bump into them, try and create that reaction bite. That tulles stock is sitting here like this, and that 3-pounder is sitting right here, and that spinnerbait comes by and bumps that tulles. And those blades are spinning, they'll stop for a second and then they'll engage, and that's a lot of times when you'll get that reaction strike. Boy, that's a great place to get a bite. Come on, sweetie. I will check the outside edge. I like to check the heart of the tips, the heavy concentrations of tulles, and then as you come off the heavy concentrations, you'll have little sparse guys on the outside. And usually those fish will prefer one or the other. They'll be next to the tight clumps, or they'll be right in the middle of those sparse clumps. And especially when the fish are extremely aggressive, they really like the sparse tulles because they can see 360 degrees all the way around them. They can sit next to that one tulles. They feel safe as long as it's funny. If you see them in the water and they're sitting next to that tulles, they got their eyes right on, they think they're hid. Of course, we can see them. It is absolutely comical, but I think they do that because that one tulles sitting right here, he's got his eyes right here, but he can maneuver around. He can see 360 degrees around. It's a whole kill zone, 360. There's a sparse tulles spinnerbait bass. That sun came up. We've been throwing that other red spinnerbait, but boy, that's a nice chunky fish. See this fish right here? She's just starting to feed a little bit. She's starting to get a little bit of a pooch. In another month, that she'll look like she's got a softball in her belly. But that's why that spinnerbait is so effective this time of the year. These girls right here, they need to pack on some weight, and the best way to do that is eating bluegill, eating shad like this guy right here, and eating crayfish. That's a nice spinnerbait bass. Nice Delta spinnerbait bass. Later, girl.
Wow, thanks Bobby for sharing that with us. We hope you join us again next time on Fish Delta TV.